Hello everyone and welcome to another episode of The Art of Waiting, a podcast brought to you by NemoQ. I'm your host today, Tyler Kern. Welcome to another episode of the show. Joining me today is Michael Berg, CEO at NemoQ. Michael, thanks for joining us.
Thanks for having me, Tyler. Looking forward to our chat.
Always good to have you here in the studio. And so today we're talking a little bit more about how to make the most out of queuing technology and these queuing systems. And so queuing technology is obviously, as we've talked about on the show before, just more than just a way to get people and wait in line, right? It's more than just a virtual wait list. Give us some of the details behind what queuing technology can really do.
Well, what we've seen in the past couple of years are these other companies coming out. They're small companies or startups or people in their basements in some cases coming up with wait lists, and they're putting them online.
Yeah.
And what we're seeing is that we're essentially putting customers in line, we're serving them, and that's it. Whereas like the original queuing companies have been around for 30, 40 years. They take the time to look at the customer's needs. They know how to use the different technology, the different settings and things like that are unique to that particular office or industry. And by using that, we can create a more efficient way of serving customers.
So what are some of the underutilized aspects that you've noticed that people could really tap into to make the most of virtual queuing technology?
I would say we can start by just skills-based routing, where you actually have the person that knows something about a subject serve that customer, instead of just randomly getting 1 out of 20 people that work there. That creates a situation where the customer gets better service, and they're also typically faster. And somebody's good at something, they can finish it faster.
That's a really, really good point. What are some of the main success stories that you've seen through your time in the industry? Obviously, having been around for a while, you've seen the way that this works and how you can truly benefit people. So what are some of those that you can share with us?
Well, I like to compare apples to apples, right? So if we take the government sector, where you have a vast number of types of organizations, some are elected officials, some are appointed officials, some are just employees that run these organizations. Typically, the elected officials tend to do a little better. They want to get reelected, and they spend some time looking at the data, and they come up with all kinds of creative ways to actually, encourage employees to do better, be faster, and what have you, right? I've even seen there's an organization in Kansas that actually printed out employee productivity statistics and placed them on the wall in the break room. They had little contests. There may also be an element of shaming in there, where, hello, Paul, or whatever, maybe you should do a little better next time. But it's out there for everybody to see. And that would be an example of somebody who really looks at the data in depth and uses it. Whereas others, again, just use it as a waitlist system, and they can get that online pretty cheap.
Yeah, rankings and standings are good and all until you're the one in last place, I suppose. And
yeah, that's true.
Then it kind of stinks a little bit. But so, what do you think some people can learn from how maybe politicians, elected officials, and people like that are using this technology? Is there an example that other industries can look to say, oh, we should learn a little bit from that?
Well, there are. I mean, the bottom line is that people don't want to wait. So you need to cut that wait. But often you have a limited staff. You have a limited budget for what you can spend on people serving customers, be it retail or government, healthcare. So you need to know who's coming in, what they're coming in for, and how long that takes. After that is really just math. And you can figure out how many people do I need at the window, how fast do they need to be, and when do I need them? And you can cut the wait time to almost nothing. But this requires expertise, and that's why we're around. Exactly.
Well, Michael, as we wrap up this episode, any final thoughts? What do you want to leave our listeners and viewers with here today after they've checked out this particular episode? What do you hope that they take away from this?
I would say that if you're an organization that find yourself with a lobby full of people or a lot of people waiting for services, you can waitlist them. That's a very efficient way, especially if it only happens one day out of the month. But if you need to aggressively look at your wait time and your service levels, talk to somebody who's been around for a while and done this before, and you'll find that you'll do pretty well.
Excellent stuff. What's the website for people to reach out if they want to learn more, ask questions, that sort of thing?
It is nemo-q.com.
There you go.
And you can also call us at 972-347-1766.
There you go. You got a URL, a place for you to go. You got a phone number. So if you have questions, you can reach out and learn more from NemoQ to learn more about how to make the most of virtual queuing technology. That's going to do it for this episode of the show. For Michael Berg, I'm Tyler Kern. We'll see you next time on The Art of Waiting.